What's going on, everyone? So, yesterday's game against the Golden State Warriors did not go the way we had hoped for the first preseason game, but it's preseason, right? Don't get too high on the highs, don't get too low on the lows. Whether the Lakers won by 30 or lost by 30, that's not what it's about, right? We've seen Laker teams that have been terrible in preseason and win the NBA championship. We've seen Laker teams that were great in preseason and not win the NBA championship. Preseason doesn't have any, it's not a precursor to how you're going to have success in the regular season. Obviously, you want to win some of these games, build good habits, but that's what it's about, building good habits. What are the things that we need to work on, that we need to continue to build and grow on? And what are the things that, we already do well that we can continue to expand on and improve on, right? A lot of yesterday's game was just missed shots and guys just not being able to hit, right? That's what a lot of it was. And guys aren't going 100% trying to overexert themselves, but there were some real bright spots. And Max Christie was definitely one of those bright spots. This kid looked fantastic. He showed everything you would want to see from the next big thing. And Max Christie looks like the absolute real deal for the Lakers. Because, look, I've talked about this with Max Christie before. It's about seeing the pattern and the habits, right? Summer League, Max Christie was the best player on the court every game he played. He was able to get his own bucket whenever he wanted, get to his spot whenever he wanted, do whatever he wanted whenever he wanted to do it in Summer League. But that's Summer League, right? Yes, there's some talent there, and you want to see those things. You want to see him going in the second year being dominant out there on the basketball court, and he was that. So give him credit in that regard. But then how does he look on an actual NBA roster against actual NBA teams and talents? And once again, Max Christie picked up right where he left off. Was excellent defensively, getting after it. I mean, again, it's preseason, so guys aren't going like full force, right? Like you saw, like even the Warriors, they were going ham defensively 1 minute, and then next possession they just kind of take a play off or whatever, right? Because you're just trying to get through. You're just trying to get a sweat, trying to get some burn, get your feet wet a little bit, right? Get rid of some of the jitters of like the new season and stuff. Like, that's fine. Christie went out there, shot 60%, 6-10 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, showed that he is a legit 3-level scorer. It was just a beautiful display. Watching him be able to knock down the 3 ball, get to the rim at will, knock down, pull up, mid-range, shoot off the dribble, all of it. Catch and shoot, whatever you need him to do, he's ready to do. He even talked about it after the game that, defensively, which I've talked about, he might be our best on-ball defender next to Jared Vanderbilt. Like, he really gets after it. He's got good size, good length. He's bulked up a little bit, right? He looks bigger, and he hasn't even fully developed into his grown man body. He's 20 years old. Like you could stash him away for 4 years and he'd be younger than pretty much every player on the Lakers roster. That's valuable. But it was just so nice to be able to see Christie basically score at will. Like, seriously. And I love seeing him allow the game to come to him. It's one of the issues that I have with Jalen Hood-Schifino right now. And I said this exact same stuff about Max Christie last season. If you've been subscribed to this channel or just even watch my videos, follow the videos, which if you're not subscribed to the channel, you should be subscribed. So subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. But nonetheless, right, if you are familiar with my content, last Summer League when Christie was involved, I talked about it. I talked about how he needs to let the game come to him. He's playing like a guy that is trying to earn a roster spot rather than a guy that's already on the roster. And you're seeing that with Schifino. He's trying to do too much. He's trying to show, I can do this. I can go get buckets, rather than letting the game come to him. And this season, you've seen Christie make that change, flip that switch into allowing the game to come to him. Great example, right? He has the ball. The defender closes out too hard, takes that first step, blows by. The defender's caught off guard. It's too late. Gets to the basket. The guy doesn't close out hard enough. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to elevate. I'm going to knock down the shot. All right, I'm going to go. You're giving me the lane. Okay, I'm going to finish through this contact. Should be an and one. Refs were a little stingy with the whistle. I'm going to knock it down. I got the ball. I'm going to cross up. You're a little slow on the switch over. Let me stop right here, pull up, knock down this mid-range. Those are the things Christie just getting fluid, understanding the game, taking what the defense gives you, and being comfortable and confident and knocking down the shot. And we saw that. I mean, look, it's supposedly a Reddish and Max Christie race. One of those two are supposed to get the backup role. Based on what we saw, I mean, it's not even close. Now, I don't think Cam Reddish is going to be as bad as he was this past game, and it's unfortunate he rolled his ankle, but he should bounce back. He should be fine, in a week or so. But unless Cam Reddish is like much improved, I don't see him playing over Max Christie. I mean, Max Christie, again, has shown a large enough sample size now so far this season to where it's like, okay, now I want to see him continue that, because if next game he's just terrible, then that might be a problem. But we saw it all summer league, and now we saw it against the Warriors. And he was doing it against the starters. He was doing it against their bench. He was doing the things that you want to see. And he's putting himself in that position to be that guy. And I love it because, again, he's 20 years old. He's only going to get better and improve. There was reports and all kinds of news a couple months ago, back during Summer League, where the Lakers are super high on Max Christie. They believe he is very likely going to be their next star, maybe even superstar player. And he's looking like he's headed in that direction. Again, I want to calm expectations. I'm not saying that he's going to be a top 5 player in the league or anything like that at some point. He's 20 years old. You never know. He could be, right? I mean, look at guys like Giannis. When he came in the league, no one thought he was going to be arguably the best player in the league. People thought, he would just be some guy. Maybe he has potential. He has some upside. Christie's already showing all of the tools to be great. Elite level great. And just even elite level doesn't mean top 5, right? Even if he's a Paul George type player, be fantastic, right? I would take that. If he even becomes anything close to Paul George, that'd be fantastic, right? Just hopefully without the injuries, right? But regardless, I'm loving the growth and the development we are seeing between year 1 and year 2. Right? The reason Austin Reeves is so good is he lets the game come to him. Slows it down. Doesn't try to do too much. Doesn't take bad shots. Right? He's not trying to prove himself. He's just out there playing basketball. Playing the game of basketball. And that's what we're seeing from Max Christie. He's going out there. He's not taking bad shots. He's not trying to do too much. He's not trying to show that, I'm this. I'm a guy that I could go drop 30, coach. No, he's just playing within the game. Keeps the ball pushing, keeps it moving. If he has the shot, he takes the shot. Takes what the defense gives him. Plays hard defense on the other side. That's what's going to lead him to stay. I mean, he's very likely going to be our starting shooting guard at some point. I don't think it's going to be this year, but at some point. If he can evolve and emerge, look, Austin Reeves, this time last year was he has potential to be a good guy one day, right? Austin Reeves, man, maybe he could, be pretty solid and earn a rotation spot this year. And then fast forward, and then all of a sudden you look up and Austin Reeves is one of our best players and super consistent and averaging 20 a game against Denver in the Western Conference Finals. I don't think necessarily Max Christie is going to be that level because I just don't think he's going to get the opportunity. even Austin Reeves wouldn't have gotten the opportunity if it wasn't for circumstances, right? If LeBron doesn't get hurt and everybody's sitting out and everything's just falling apart and Austin Reeves doesn't step up, then none of that happens, right? Like, you had a couple dominoes that had to fall in order for that to happen, but they fell. And unless the dominoes fall for Max Christie, I'm not saying that he won't get playing time. I'm not saying he won't, have great games. He might have a game, or a couple games or several games where, he goes off for 20 or something like that. I just don't think he's going to, unless he's like absolutely just insanely good, going to end up earning a starting spot. But he is going to be the starter at some point. Whether it's at the 3, whether it's at the 2, he's going to end up being the Lakers starter. The Lakers believe that he is their future, that he is their star, and he's making the progress in that right direction. The leaps he took from year 1 to year 2, if he even just takes, a quarter of that and between now and the next like 2 years, then he's going to be a very good basketball player. Very good. So I'm pumped. I'm excited, but just wanted to kind of highlight Max Christie. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Do you like seeing Max Christie and what we've seen from him so far? Obviously, I want to see him continue. I don't want to put too much pressure on the kid, but I'm loving what we're seeing. But again,